I don't know what I've brought to the guitar, and I don't think anybody really can know that much what they've done. If you sit around thinking, oh, what did I do that's different from everybody else, it's a waste of time. First of all, I'm just, everybody has their own sound inside them, and you know, we take the music that is in the world and it comes through us maybe a little bit differently than through anybody, and we're all like that. I just am from a certain time when guitar was changing, and I'm very lucky and have been able to, you know, have a career because of the time that I'm in, you know, and same for Pat Metheny and Bill Frisell and John Abercrombie and all of us that, you know, play jazz guitar, but after the rock and roll revolution of the 60s, you know, so that those sounds that Hendrix and everybody made were available to us. And they weren't available to the Wes Montgomery generation, you know, that didn't really exist for them. And so we were able to incorporate both those things to make what might be considered a new style. I don't think of it as a new style, you know, because I don't think of that many things as new, you know. It just seemed obvious to our generation. But, you know, the people that were playing in the 60s, it wasn't, because it didn't exist, you know. So I'm lucky that way. And I think, yeah, the guitar changed with our generation in the 70s. Bill Frisell and Pat Metheny, even though these guys are really different, and we're all very different from each other, we took the music that came, the guitar playing styles that came from all these popular kinds of guitar playing, and added it to the jazz guitar sound, you know. Has linear guitar playing come to an end? I don't know. I think that's very hard to say that anything's come to an end, because it just may go a little further when you don't expect it, you know. There's a big jazz tradition, I'll tell you that much, that in a way people are weighted down by history. A young student today might feel like he has, you know, I have to learn swing, ragtime, Dixieland, free jazz, bebop, and blah, you know, all these different styles, but they don't have to do that. They just have to take what's out there and have the music come through them. I mean, I think I'm very weighted down by history too, because I'm such a jazz fan, you know, but that's part of it, you know. But I mean, we're all playing music that's in the world, you know. But, you know, sometimes you want to move forward with stuff like linear jazz guitar. You might want to subtract a little bit. Somebody might want to play more simply, you know. This happens all the time. I don't know. I don't think anything's at an end, though. How can a musician remain creative? And yeah, I do tour a lot. I think some people would think, well, you tour so much, don't you get tired of it? And I tell people, yeah, I get tired of traveling, and I miss my family. But I think it's the only way to play creative music is on tour. You can't do it at home. I mean, I can play in my basement by myself, but it's not the same as playing with a band and performing. And that's, to me, playing the guitar like that is like something you have to do every day, or you in order to get better, in order to improve and stay in shape. And I've been lucky that I've been able to play as much as I have, and that's allowed me to develop the music. Because just about, it's funny, I saw an interview with Woody Herman, and this interview was late in his life. And I always thought of Woody Herman and his herd as, you know, guys he spent his life on the road, really on the road all the time, more than me. And then I remember towards the end of his life, he had a steady job in New Orleans, and he cut his band down to like a sextet or something, and they played in a club in New Orleans all the time, so he didn't have to travel. And he quit doing it, and he brought his band back out on the road after a year. And he said in the interview, he said, in order to play creative music, you have to tour, because you stay in any one town, and people will demand that you play commercial music after a while, you know, because what we do is concert music, and you can't do it every night for the same audience. You need a new audience. So it keeps me in good form to tour this much. How do you stay creative? I don't know. You know, you want it. And if you ever stop wanting it, then maybe it goes away. But I still want it. And I change projects. I've been lucky that way to do different kinds of music, and each one inspires the other. Other musicians inspire me, really good musicians. They don't inspire me to copy them, but they inspire me that creative music exists, and make me want to be good and creative in that way. I also get other inspiration from other art forms, you know, from other things like literature and movies and books but I don't know how I feed it. I still want it.